Hey guys, and welcome to another video. Today it is time for another book unhaul. You probably all know the drill. In this video I'm going to show you some books that I'm getting rid of because I don't like them anymore or because I'm not interested in them anymore. I like to do this every couple of months to keep my bookshelves organized and make more space for new books that I will like more than the books that I'm getting rid of. So yeah, let's just get started with this video. So first of all, I'm getting rid of 3 John Green books. And that is an Abduns. I don't know how you pronounce that word, but this book, An Abundance of Catherine's. I feel very stupid right now, but okay, English is not my first language. Paper Towns and Will Grayson, which was co-written by David Levitan. So yeah, these 3 books I just didn't like all that much. I didn't think they were anything special. Will Grayson, I didn't even finish because I couldn't really get through it. They don't really mean anything to me. They were very forgettable. Paper Towns I actually really disliked because it was very boring and there wasn't really a point to it. So I'm keeping the John Green books that I did like, so that is The Fault in Our Stars, Looking for Alaska and Turtles All the Way Down. But these 3 books are going away. The next one might be a little bit of a controversial one, but that is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. This is a very popular book and a lot of people really seem to love it, but unfortunately I really didn't. It's not that I hated it, it's just that I found it very, very boring. It is historical fiction. It takes place during the World War II. It follows 2 people, a French girl and a German boy, and it was so slow and so not interesting to me. And that's weird because normally I really like historical fiction and things that are about like wars and history. But this book couldn't get my attention, and that is why I think it just has to go away and probably someone else will be way more happy with it than I am. Then the next book that is going away is You and Me Always by Jill Mansell. This is a book that I bought not too long ago and also read not too long ago. It is a fluffy romance contemporary like all of Jill Mansell's books. And I read it, I liked it, but it was really nothing special and I don't think I'm ever going to reread this book ever. Like the first half was okay, but then the second half was quite boring, and books like these are always very predictable and they're fun, they're lighthearted, so it's fun to read every once in a while. But it's not a story that I want to experience again, so that is why it's going away, so I have more space on my bookshelves for new books. The next book that I'm getting rid of is a Dutch edition of a book called Saving Max that is written by Antoinette van Heugden. I got this a very long time ago at a second-hand book sale, and it's about a mother who has a son called Max and he's accused of something, but she didn't believe he did it, so she's like saving him, she's trying to get him out. And I read about 75% of it like all those years ago, but I never finished it because it wasn't that good or that interesting. I've kept it on my shelves for all these years because I was always thinking like someday I'm going to reread it and finish it. Someday I will pick it up again, but the day hasn't come yet and it has been so many years, so I think I have to accept that that day is never going to come. And that is why I really think there's no point in keeping this anymore, and that is why also this one is going away. Then I have another book that I got from that same book sale, and it is a book called True to Form by Elizabeth Burke. I don't really even know what it is all about, but it's like the exact same story as with Saving Max. It's been on my shelves for many, many years. I don't think I'm ever going to read it, so that's why I'm getting rid of it. Then I have 2 books by my favorite Dutch author Simone van der Vlucht, and that is In Mijn Dromen, which means In My Dreams, and Toen het donker werd, which means When It Became Dark. So I absolutely love Simone van der Vlucht. She writes some amazing thrillers. I have so many of her books and I used to read them all the time. But out of her thrillers, I really didn't like these 2. These 2 are very mediocre in my opinion. Like, they were very predictable and not really fun at all, and just like, I didn't really enjoy reading them. Her other thrillers are so much better, and I don't feel like there's any point in keeping those only because they are by my favorite Dutch author. They're just sitting there. I've reread a lot of Simone van der Vlucht's books, but not these 2 because I just don't like them all that much. Again, someone else will probably be way more happy with them. So again, these 2 are going away, and I'm going to keep the books that I did like and get rid of these books that I didn't like. Then I have The Best of Adam Sharp by Graham Simpson. I read this about a year ago and I really did not like it. This book is very weird. Like, the plot got so weird and I really wasn't into it. It's like, I just did not understand it. Literally all the characters were unlikable and I just couldn't sympathize with them, so it wasn't one of my favorite books. Again, that's the simple reason why it's going away. I didn't like it, so why should I keep it? But I really did like The Rosie Project and The Rosie Effect by Graham Simpson, and that's why I got this book in the first place. But this one isn't nearly as interesting as those two. Then I have a book that I'm not completely sure about yet, but it is Heartless by Marissa Meyer. I did not like this book, and I talk a lot about why I didn't like this book in my worst books of 2017 video. It was very disappointing, especially because I like the Lunar Chronicles series by Marissa Meyer so much. But the thing is with this book is that it's a very beautiful and expensive hardback. Like, the cover is gorgeous and I just love the design of it. And that is why I find it so hard to get rid of it, because it's so pretty and it just feels like such a waste to me to get rid of it because it cost me a lot of money. So I'm not completely sure about that. I think it will go eventually, but yeah, let's see about that. But then a book that is definitely going away is The Forbidden Wish by Jessica Corey. This book is an Aladdin retelling, but like with a female genie. And this is the book that was in the very first Fairy Loot box. And I read it at the time, but I found it very mediocre and not very interesting. It's so forgettable. Like now, a year and a half later, I barely know what it was about. Like I know it was an Aladdin retelling, but I don't know the specific plot points anymore. Like, I found the concept very interesting, but the execution just wasn't really for me. Again, a book I'm never going to reread and a book that isn't very special to me. The only reason why I kept it this long is because it was the very first book in a Fairy Loot box. And I wanted to keep it for that reason alone, but I just don't think that is a good enough reason. So again, this one is going away to a new owner, whatever, and I just don't want it anymore. And the last book on this book Unhaul is again maybe a bit a controversial one, but it is Americana by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, I probably did. So yeah, this is a very popular book and it is a very important book to a lot of people. And I totally get that. I'm not saying that this is a bad book. I absolutely don't think this is a bad book. I actually do think it's quite important, but for me personally, I didn't like it that much. Then again, I also didn't hate it, but my main complaint with this book is that it was so incredibly slow. It took me about a month to finish it, and I never have that with books. It is about the life of a girl from Nigeria who immigrates to the United States, and about all the problems she faces there, like discrimination, race, all that sort of stuff. And again, it was very interesting to read about, but it also meant that there wasn't really a plot beside that. And I know that's the whole point of this book. It's not a plot-driven book, it's really about this person. It's very character driven. So yeah, I read it and I liked it. I found it interesting, but I didn't like it enough to keep this book or to read it like again. And that is why I'm going to get rid of this book and give it a better home. So this was it again for another book unhaul. I always really like unhauling books. It feels so refreshing and therapeutic to get rid of it and update your TBR and like reorganize your bookshelves. And I'm either going to donate these books or give them to friends or family. Don't worry, they're all going to be in like a better home. But yeah, this was it for this video. And if you like this video, please go subscribe or give it a thumbs up because I would really appreciate that. If you want to follow me on any social media, I will leave links to that all down below in the description box. And then hopefully I will see you again in a next video. Bye!